We outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. That Glock loaded, that's the mag and it's outside. There's one West for that bag and we outside. We outside. I don't talk hardly. Be there when you call me. Send them Philly clippers at your head like a Baldy. Chopper get to run down your block like a Harley. No, this ain't a big hog. This the big dog.
In your city, swinging through the jungle like it's pitfall. In the water wading, marching. To my cadence, big burst of thunder in my hands like I'm reading. Shitty little combat sounds, but I ain't playing.
Look them in the eye before the war. Like a weigh-in, I'm up in the AM, politicking movements with that Draco from the bid because it's proven. Waiting on my brother how to bid, he ain't do shit. That's how life go. Win some, you lose. Seen a little nigga beat a big nigga out his shoes. Seen that nigga come back, pull up with the gun strap, rob everybody outside, told him run that. We outside. That temperature's getting how we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't. Take it outside, yeah, we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. My Glock loaded, that's the mag and it's outside. It's one West for that bag and we outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. That temperature, yeah, how we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me. You won't make it outside. We outside, and we outside. Outside, and we outside. We outside, yeah, we outside. There's one West on them corners, and we outside. We outside with it.
Call me Lisa too Jeezy. I mean, that shit look easy. How bitches come and they greet me, they teach me. Bitches ain't shit and they never will be. I still see hoes on my nuts, but they can't feel me. But really though, I'm in beast mode with the flow. And it's 10 in the morning. I get up at this. You know that I look into the mirror, douching up, wash up a true nigga, throw on my gold. I should go, you know me, cuz. Slip out that go with my fourth dimension cologne. TNC, Israel, we knock all of the time. Wasn't much, just refresh with some young stars. Make some noise with this music with some lost tribes. Yeah, nigga, yeah. Now I know that times pay, but bitch, I'm still the same. Yeah, and I know this a crazy ass game. They really ain't a thing, and they know that gun go bang. Ain't tryna die today, and they know what we all gon' say. Bitch on UPK, hey bitch on UPK. I can't even think about you right now. Yeah, I'm chillin' with the homies, and you know how I put down. I'm coolin', I'm just sippin' while fucking with these little bitches. Ice up on my neck, got these hoes so consistent and so relentless that I just come back with stats in my backpack. I gotta make a track. Fuck what you talking about, that bitch is a net. Now I don't wanna crap, but show a nigga from the back. I just on the block, now these bitches won't come out. Yeah, club chillin', got Modelos in the south. Niggas be muggin', but I name it in their mouth. Just they know how Prince Sharp Bomb put it down. Down, did it down. Hot in my coupe, cruising around town. AR in the back on the ground. Glizzy on the mount. Bitches want water like I'm a fountain. They follow to the house, well shit, this ain't even my house. But top ass bitches, they wanna lounge. Want me dog it out like a hound. But look what I found. When you're up, they all wanna come around. But when you're down, they just kick you on the ground. Lame ass nigga, he that bitch master. Lame ass buster, you fucking cracker. Judas ass boy, you backstabber. Yeah.
Alo apa niya? Barak? Yaha ba Shim Yao Shab?
Sisters also stand. All right, I know y'all didn't know. Don't worry about it. Next time. All right, please be seated. Clap it up. Let's get it on. Okay, we'll get into our topics tonight. What are our topics again, Asher?
They are polite cross the line.
Polite cross the line. Give the Most High a hand. Yeah. Let me try to move this to this side, all right?
Yes, sir.
Can I cross?
Yeah, Shaq, can you help the general, Michelle?
Polite cross the line. We'll go into the entire, I was about to call him DJ Polite. What's it? Brother Polite. We'll go into the entire Brother Polite incident tonight in class. We'll give you the Israelite School of UPK's breakdown on Brother Polite and what happened to him this week. We'll also go into Are You Atlanta Strong? Is that it?
Are you Atlanta Braves?
Are you Atlanta Braves? The water. Are you Atlanta Brave? Every man should ask himself that question now. It's not a question that people require of you when they want you to be a slave. Slaves don't need courage. It's just the opposite. Courage ruins a slave. You can't be a good slave with courage. This world tries to beat courage out of your soul. This world teaches you to seek survival rather than honor. But a free man cares more about his honor than his own survival. And this is what is necessary in this community, the Black and Latino community. This is required in the Israelite School of UPK. I pray you understand that.
Okay.
Asher.
And the ISUPK will accept all Israelite migrants.
Give him a hand. Yeah. The ISUPK accepts all Israelite migrants. Why? Because we're good Americans. That's why. We're real Americans in here. And any real American would accept immigrants, would accept migrants, would accept the poor and the disheveled people, the wretched refuse of this world who come here from South Central America, Haiti, come into this country seeking a better life for their children. Good Americans would accept migrants. In the Israelite School of UPK, we're better Americans than the people that support Donald Trump and the people that hate immigrants. Right. We're better citizens than you. We're better brothers than you. We're better neighbors than you. We're better people than you. We'll go into that as well tonight. And they're really all the same thing. The people that hate immigrants they're not Atlanta Braves.
Right.
That's their problem. They don't have the kind of courage that the Atlanta camp has in the ISUPK. Can I say one thing before I go? Pasati. Mi gente. You had one more.
Yes, sir. If we could, sir, let's welcome Rio Grande.
I'm sorry. Give the Rio Grande a hand.
That's it, Rio Grande. Yahweh en el nombre de Yahushua te bendiga. Rio Grande. I know you know.
Concert.
Get it on. Go ahead.
Windsor, Canada.
Windsor, Canada. Give them a hand.
And South Carolina, sir.
South Carolina. Give him a hand.
And HQ.
And give Jerusalem a hand. Headquarters. Once again, brothers and sisters, Yahweh en el nombre de Yahushua te bendiga. Mi nombre es General Mahayaman. Soy tu hermano y estos son los anuncios. Somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste calle 125 Harlem, Nueva York, desde 1969, debajo del comando de el general Johanna Carnales. Esta es la verdad. Si tú eres si tú eres latino, negro o indio nativo, tú eres Israel. El pueblo elegido Dios. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa. Órale.
And sir,
questions. Go ahead.
Atlanta just joined us.
Give Atlanta a hand. Wait a minute, Atlanta. Come your Charlotte. Atlanta. Well done, Akim. Well done. Now, the water for your service, Akim. The water for your service. Every man will have his day to see if he is Atlanta brave. Every man has that day. Please believe it. And let me tell you something else. If you think you can escape commanding General Yohana's authority, and be a coward in the world, you're still going to have your day when your cowardice will be revealed. Some of you avoid joining the Isupk because you're cowards. The brothers called me all week telling me about some fake Israelite class or show where they just kept saying, why can't they just get along? Why can't they have peace and love? Is that right about you? Oh my goodness. I mean, Jesus Christ. I hear you, man. Listen, if you think you cannot be in this truth and not be in this school and avoid having courage, you shall find out. But first, I'll get your questions, all right? Because that's why we're here today, to solve all your problems and put your mind at ease. Who has any questions in headquarters? I'll take them right now. Up front, brother. You know what? To celebrate Atlanta, I'm going to have a drink tonight. Give him a hand. Atlanta, this is for you, Akim. We have a drink to celebrate Atlanta. All right, where are we at now? Go ahead, Akim.
If I may, sir, a general breakdown of 1 Corinthians 10, verse 23. All
Please.
things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient.
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 Mm-hmm.
All things
Is Alexa
are
ready?
Alexa. Yes, she is.
Alexa, what does the word expedient mean?
As an adjective, expedient is usually defined as tending to promote some proposed or desired object, fit or suitable for the purpose.
Stop.
Under the
Alexa.
circumstances.
Proper under the
Alexa, stop.
Alexa, stop. That's what you need. Proper under the circumstances. So expedient is like if you do everything in an expedient fashion, all of your moves and actions and words go towards the goal that you have in mind. As opposed to your actions and words may be hurting the goal that you have in mind. You get my point? But all things are lawful unto me, but not everything expedient unto me. Do you know what that means, young brother? Are you a trooper yet?
not yet, sir.
Student, young man.
Young man.
That would be your rank in the school, young man, when you're a student. Do you know what the breakdown is of this? Can I get a napkin, please?
No,
You need
no,
me to break
sir.
it down
I need
for
to
you?
break
Here I come. This is Paul speaking, right? What you need by this is you need rude in speech, but not in knowledge. That's your precept for this. Someone give it to him, please. Rude in speech, all right? I appreciate it. However, not in knowledge. Tell him where it is, all right? Then I'll break this precept down for you, all right?
Come on, sir.
Maybe you should move the fan out a little taste more for the sisters, all right? If you got some room if you got room with that cord. I was just saying, bring it closer to him. That might help, right? Go ahead.
If I could, 2 Corinthians 11:6.
Me, myself, I don't need the fan. I don't feel heat or cold. I just tell myself what temperature I want to be. I do that all the time. I say, I decide to be warm today. I decide to be cool today. And I am what I decide to be. You need that, though. So bring it up on you. Help you get the AC working in here. Beat the landlord to death. Convince the landlord.
I'm working on that, sir.
To do what is honorable and just in the sight of the lease and the contract we have signed. I'm sure you'll do that in a very professional way. All right. No, please. No, I appreciate it, Warrior. Come on. I'm not now. I better take this for now, but I would take it any other day. Go ahead.
So, 2 Corinthians 11:6.
Let the young man read if he can. Oh, you put the. Oh, you doing this all the way. Go ahead. Go ahead, up.
2 Corinthians 11. I got it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
2 Corinthians 11:6. But though I be rude in speech.
This is also the Apostle Paul speaking. He's saying, though I be rude in speech, keep going.
Yet not in knowledge.
Do you know what that means? Right? That's kind of, self-explanatory. If you wouldn't heard Paul speak, what would the average, person who went to the temple, kept the commandments as they should, a good upstanding person in Jerusalem, what would they think about Paul's speech, about his speaking?
It would be knowledgeable, sir.
Though I be rude in speech. Rude. They would think, sister, microphone, give her a shot.
Probably like, if anybody like tell them about something about him keeping them commandments, and he probably tell them he's doing all the commandments. I'm like,
you're right. Give her a hand. But I'll bring it even more home to you. Give the young man or trooper right here in front of me. Go ahead.
I think it's more that he may be knowledgeable, but he's not a good communicator or social or verbally socially.
When Paul speaks, he offended people. You know, so he's out there trying to win you to Christ. And trying to win you to the truth. But he speaks rude sometimes. And because he's rude, what can that do? It can hurt his goal of getting people to come into the truth. Because speaking rude is it's not right there. Who had their hand up? Somebody said something? Sis, you said something? Being rude is not nice is all right, but I'm saying that to get a specific answer for the brothers learning to teach. Being rude is not upfront.
Polite.
I'll take that tonight. Being rude is not expedient. Give him a hand. Expedient. Do you understand that? My goal is to get people to come into the truth. But when I go out to speak, I offend them. We in the UPK understand that. You get my point? People are terrified of us. People think that the purple pigs and Brother Polite, they're the good godly people, aren't they? Oh, they're the good godly people. They don't hate the little African boy the way Captain Desariat does. Oh, they're not like him and Captain Katazar. Captain Katazar offends people. Yeah, right. They're offended when they hear him speak. They hate it. They're offended by Commanding General Yana. Asher.
You know, Polite's a humanitarian.
Yeah, he's a humanitarian. That's what Polite is. You see, those things make people accept Polite because he's very kind in his speech, very accepting of your behavior and your lifestyle. One West Dog, we are absolutely like adamant flint, like stone.
Right.
And because of that, people reject us. We understand that. Our goal is to win you. Our goal is to save your life. But sometimes we say things that can be absolutely interpreted as being rude. However, keep reading. After rude in speech,
yet not in knowledge.
Yet not in knowledge. The things that we say, our knowledge is absolutely correct according to God and the Bible. You get my point? What Polite is telling you is absolutely wrong according to knowledge. What the purple pigs are telling you is absolutely wrong according to knowledge. But the purple pigs, they believe in having one wife. They're good Christian men. All of them have jobs. You can't be in there without a job. Meanwhile, in here, we accept immigrants. You understand?
That's right.
People that everyone hates. He's rude in speech, but his knowledge is not rude. His knowledge is absolutely beneficial and helpful to the building of the family, to the building of the nation. You get that? Now go back to your precept that you asked about.
First Corinthians 10, chapter 23. All things are
lawful unto me. Now, brother, young man, what do people in the world say about this precept, that particular part? All things are lawful unto me. Do you know?
No, sir.
People in the world say that means anything you do is lawful. That's what they say. It's a shocker, isn't it? They say if I eat pork, if I eat shrimp, that's lawful because the Bible says all things are lawful unto me. So they interpret that to mean anything I do, whether it's against the law or not, is lawful to me. So I can do whatever I want. Have you brothers not heard that before? Oh, listen, man, be in the truth a few more winters, a few more summers, you'll get that. That's what they believe. I'm sure that's what Polite believes and every other Christian believes. If they molest children, it's lawful to them. They all fall short of the glory of Jesus. They all make mistakes. No man is perfect. Are you Jesus? Are you perfect? You'll hear that. Just keep staying around long enough. You'll hear that from some pedophile. He'll say that to you. This is what it actually means. Now, just remember the other precept. IUIC
says that.
IUIC says just that.
They come to us in the YouTube chats and they'll say, like, are you saying that no one in UPK sins?
The IUIC, the Purple Pigs, I've seen them so many times before, and I'll watch their fall as I have watched so many others. We'll go into that a little later. Let me just break this down for this young brother. Paul said, all things are lawful unto me. Give it one more shot, young brother. Just, what does it mean? Yes. For time's sake, everything that Paul does is
Lawful.
lawful. Everything he does. All things, give him a hand. You get that. You know that because of the precept I gave you.
Come on, sir.
He is not rude in knowledge. Everything he does is lawful. Paul didn't eat pork. Paul didn't eat shrimp. Paul didn't marry some African wife like Nate did, Bishop Nasty Nate. That's some disgusting African wife, curbing him and steering him right into Ghana. But God knows which you will find out soon. Not Commander General Yohana. You give him my point.
Come on, sir.
He doesn't do things that are unlawful, right? He doesn't do that. Paul did not do things that were unlawful. All things were lawful unto him. Keep going.
But all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not.
Well, even though Paul never broke any commandments, he might say something to you that was not the wisest thing to say. He might say something that gets them to run him out that city, and he's running out of there like crazy because they're trying to kill him. Paul went many times and offended the trade guilds in these cities. The trade guilds are like the unions today. These unions made statues for people to worship, made these statues. And Paul was just walk into the city, brother, and blaze on them. And he got to get the hell out of there quickly. That's the UPK. That's us. Everything we say is absolutely correct, but sometimes it's rude. Sometimes it's said in an inartful way. Hey, we all fall short of the glory of God. You understand, right?
Come on, sir.
Anything else? That's your question. That's your answer. Next, online.
Khan, so the first question I have is from Officer Iraq. He says he was told that there was a breakdown on how there was more than one Adam before the Adam we know of in Genesis. Could he get a breakdown, Baba Kasha?
There was more than one Adam. Okay, the way he's wording it is confusing. he might be speaking about the fact that Jesus Christ was around before he was Adam. He was with the Most High God in charge of the angels that built everything we see in the sky and on the earth right now today. If you want a precept for that, you can get John 1:1. You can also have in Hebrews, where Hebrews 1, where which of the angels has he said this to? Those are the two precepts. I'll give them to you for time's sake. So I'll word it in the proper way. Who we know as Jesus Christ was reincarnated on this earth 5 times. First as Adam. Second as Isaac. Who am I missing? Third as Solomon. Salakia. First as Adam, then as Melchizedek. Now, Melchizedek was not technically a reincarnation because it was an appearance. He didn't have a mother or father. So he was not born into the earth by a man's sperm and a woman's penis, but he appeared to Abraham to receive tithes of Abraham to establish the right of the kingdom of Christ and the priest of Christ to take tithes and supersede the Levite priests, because they were the first to receive tithes before the sons of Aaron. Before the Levitical priests. Later on, after Christ came, that's the precept that Paul pulled to say, you should pay us tithes, the men who follow Christ, and you should stop paying the Levites tithes. So I'll give it to you again. Adam, he appeared, he was born into the earth, incarnated as Adam. He appeared as Melchizedek. He was reincarnated as Isaac. He was reincarnated as Solomon. And he was reincarnated as Jesus Christ. Everybody gets it. Those 5 times. Of course, I can prove each of these. Every last one of these. Everyone understands? So to his question, he was around before that, before creation, when he was with the Father, making sure that everything the Father wanted was built according to his specific desire. Come on.
Would the precept be for would be he was with Word and the Word was
yes
him?
I mean.
I think that's in John, right?
Yeah, that's in John 1:1, and the other one I asked for is in Hebrews 1. When you have it, get it. How's that?
Also had 1 Corinthians 15.
Yeah, that's an excellent one too. Quickly.
1 Corinthians 15:14. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul.
The first man, Adam, was made a living soul. You know who Adam is, correct, in the Bible, right? Adam and Eve, the serpent. Even little kids know about that. The first man, Adam, was made a living soul, meaning Adam was just like you and I when we were in the world. He was lost. He was down in the dirt. That's where he came from, the dirt. That's where I come from, the dirt. That's where you come from, the dirt. That's where Adam was. But he was made a living soul. He came out of that dirt, and the Most High gave him the breath of life. The Most High woke him up, man. Made him have compassion in a place where no one has compassion. Made him selfless where no one is selfless. Gave him care for the people that no one cared for. Gave him the discipline to understand knowledge and accept knowledge that no one even wanted. He made him a living soul. Keep going.
The last Adam.
The what?
The last Adam.
The what?
The last Adam.
That's a rough one, Christians. The last Adam. So there's a first Adam, and then there's a last Adam. The first Adam was given life. The last Adam, go ahead.
was made a quickening spirit.
He was made a quickening spirit. What does the word quickening mean? To give life. The first Adam was given life. The last Adam gives life. That last Adam is Jesus Christ, brother. And he was already in the truth. Born into it at 12 years old, he was battling scholars about the Bible. But he gave us life because he made us living souls. His knowledge and the way he lived and the things he's done. Why do you think Atlanta is so brave, Bob? Because they follow Jesus Christ. They are not afraid to die. That's something that's strange to you because you're a vagina. You're a female reproductive organ. Atlanta is brave. Come on. They have a Botholum gland. I'll explain that later for those of you that don't know. That was a ridiculous time. Yeah, but the reason that Atlanta is brave is because they follow Jesus Christ and the purple pigs do nada. And they're cowards and scared, and we're just not. And you'll see that. We'll prove that, twice a day if that's what you need. If that's what you need. That's right. Anyway, anything else? How's it, how?
We got Hebrews 1:1.
Go ahead.
God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in past unto the fathers by the prophets.
Sundry times and many times. I mean, he just did this all the time. He did this all the time, many times. Keep going.
Verse 2, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he have appointed heir of all things.
That's talking about Jesus Christ. Keep going.
By whom also he made the worlds.
By whom also he made the worlds. This is the creation story. In the beginning, it was the Most High God, and he made this angelic being to rule under him, his second in command, who was so close to him and so perfect in his service. He called him his son, because that is how disciplined he was to obey the Father. Everyone understands. He had him create all the angels and then had him supervise the angels in the creation of heaven and earth. And that's where the worlds come from. All the societies, all the planets, everything you see come from Christ following out the orders of God through the angels. That's why Genesis says, let us make man in our image. Let us do this, because it was a collaborative effort. It wasn't just God, like in your imagination, just thinking something and it appeared. That's not how it works. Heaven works much like this world works. Men of God follow orders from the top all the way to the bottom, and they achieve goals that other men would find impossible. That's where heaven and earth came from. That's how creation is here, right? Keep going. This is for Iraq. Go ahead.
Verse 3, who being the brightness of his glory.
Who being the bright, meaning Christ is the brightness of the glory of the Most High, meaning he's a chip off the old block. He's just like the Father. He's like the brightness of the glory of God. Officer. Trooper, correct? Trooper. Go ahead. No sweat.
His daddy's son.
Give him a hand. His daddy's son. Absolutely. Absolutely, Trooper. Go ahead.
And the express image of his person.
That's what the trooper just said.
Mm-hmm. And upholding.
But hold up. What does the express image of his person mean? Does that mean he has his nose, he has his chin? No. No, his image is his behavior, his character. He's his daddy's son. He acts like him. He behaves like him. Keep going.
And upholding all things by the word of his power.
I just said that. He upheld all things by the word of his power, of his God. What the Most High said to do, he did. Keep going.
When he had by himself purged our sins.
I think I just broke that down for you. All of that is good and excellent. You need also John 1 and 1. I'll go there fast and that's it on this topic. Come on.
You want the part where it says being made better than the angels?
I'll take it.
Verse 4. Being made so much better than the angels.
Being what?
Being made so much better than the angels.
You see that Christ outranks the angels. He was made better than the angels. No angel. Angels have the power of 1,000 sons. I believe the scriptures say. They're powerful. They can be as small as like the fit on the head of a pin. Or they could be in the sky, as big as the Statue of Liberty. They pull their sword out of the sheath and the people die of a plague. They put their sword back in the sheath and the people are healed. Christ is better than the angels. He's made better than them. Keep going. See me one more time, please.
As he hath by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they.
You get that? He did a better job than them. He made heaven and earth, and then I appreciate it, warrior. And then he came down here, brother, and established this planet in righteousness. And then he made a terrible mistake as Adam. And then he made up for that mistake as Jesus Christ. All right, I think that's all you need. You good with that, Iraq, or not? Do you need John 1 and 1?
No reply, sir.
Next question.
Any questions in the room? I think the sister has a question, sir.
Please,
Mike.
Mike. Give me the question. Let me try to get some more of those questions online. All right, I'll
Yes,
I'm gonna get to.
Go ahead, sis. I just want to know what age the Most High died.
Say that one more time.
I just want to know what age Yahweh Shah died.
What age did he die? Okay, historians say around 33 or 34, but there's no exact date of it because Israelites don't celebrate birthdays. So many times in the Bible, you might say, what age did he happen with this? What age did he happen with that? And the Bible will not describe it because age is not important to us the way it is to people today. Like we think of things take the microphone from her. We think of things like by season. So just think in his 30s. Sometime in his 30s, that's when he was killed and rose again from the dead. All right. Next question.
Consa, next question I have. Brother would like a breakdown on Ecclesiastes 8 and 11.
Go to it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Yeah, this is the bedrock 1 West UPK commanding General Yohana scripture. This is something polite never learned.
Right.
That's right. This is something that the purple pigs never learned.
Right.
The Proud Boys went down today too this week. That's right. The Proud Boys who tried to battle us. Where's the video of that? Give me the video of these Proud Boys thinking they could battle Commanding General Yohana and Mashak and Captain Kahan. They thought they could battle us. Yeah, but see, the Most High is slow to give his judgment up. That's one of the worst things for me because I got zero patience. And my patience is worse the older I get. Worse. I had more patience when I was your rank. As I grow in power and authority and size, my patience goes away. I have almost zero patience right now. But the Most High, he's slow in patience. He's slow in pay. He waits. And here's the problem. Because of that, evil men think they will never be punished. Read it again.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
Let me tell you, Polite thought years ago he was going to get away with all the child molestation he was doing. Polite just got arrested this week. Polite. He just got arrested this week. He's going to have to do 15 years in jail as a child molester. And you do not want to go in jail as a child molester. Say again?
I got the video.
He's supposed to be stabbed immediately. Here are the rules of prison. I'll help you out. Whoever is his cellmate, if he does not go into protective custody, they must stab him. They don't have a choice. Like if they do not stab, if they don't
harm
him, they get harmed. That is how it works. Done. Unless he goes into protective custody, which is wise for him to do. Let me show you. Give me the video.
Sir.
Who's this a video of?
This is the Proud Boys.
And then give me what happened to that one right there.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Is that true? That is absolutely false. Just the way that the media.
That's Ricardo Torres, the Hispanic brother that was leading
somehow in the Proud Boys
concert.
And we had this a little bit of this conversation last time, but just like I feel like the media doesn't portray you guys accurately, the media likes to spin exactly who we are, what our morals are, what our values are, and we're definitely not white supremacists. Are we nationalists? I'd say yes. We're very nationalists. I'd say we're ultra nationalists. I'd go as far as to say that.
That's
enough. To say that we're far right, it's an opinion.
Like 3-4 years ago?
So his name is Enrique Tarrio.
Enrique Torres was a member of a white nationalist organization. And he thought he could battle us and thought somehow we would join him or have allegiance with him. The IUIC would have, but not us. We don't align ourselves with white conservative groups. We don't do that. We don't align ourselves with white hate groups. Many black organizations do align themselves with white conservative groups. They've been doing it since the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam were in league with the Ku Klux Klan. How do I know? Malcolm X said it. Come on.
Or the Black Panther Party with the Communist Party.
And the Black Panther Party was funded by the Communist Party of Russia. If you have the video, give me the video of Malcolm X saying that Elijah Muhammad was in league with the Ku Klux Klan. But for now, you stay with me right here, Asher.
Yes, sir.
So to the brother's question, that was about 5 years ago. Oh, and the Proud Boys, they were so big. Did you see their marches? Purple Pigs, did you see the Proud Boys march? Oh, they had beautiful marches. Lovely marches. They carried AR-15s in their marches. Everyone was terrified of them. They stormed the Capitol on January 6th. They didn't just march around Chicago, around O Block. They marched into the Capitol and took it over for a day because they were so powerful, so strong with their guns and with their numbers. Cut to today.
Henry Enrique Tarrio, born 1984, is an American far-right activist and convicted seditionist. From 2018 to 2021, he was the chairman of the Proud Boys, a far-right neo-fascist organization that promotes and engages in political violence in the United States. Along with 3 other Proud Boys leaders, Tarrio was convicted in May 2023 of seditious conspiracy for his role in the 2021 United States Capitol attack. In September, Tarrio was sentenced to 22 years.
How long?
22 years.
Read that again, Levi.
Tarrio was sentenced to 22 years.
Levi?
Wakan. Because sentencing against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
It's because you don't drop dead. The minute you dare raise yourself up against the armies of the living God, against the priests of the Lord, because the IUIC does not drop dead on the spot, they think nothing will happen to them. Just like the Proud Boys. Just like them. And now you're going to jail for 20 years. And let me tell you what he has in for him in jail. He must be harmed in jail because he was a member of a white supremacist group that used white supremacy but wasn't sincere to white supremacy. So the white people who are in that group have to be harmed because they let him in the group. Because he was in the group, they're going to say, you use our reputation as white supremacists, but yet you let Enrique lead your organization. Any white person that goes to prison has to be harmed by the white supremacists in prison. And Enrique has to be harmed because he is a traitor. And all of them in prison gangs and prison politics is like, they think they're the real racists. So if you are a fake racist, meaning you're not really racist, they're going to harm you for that. They're going to look at it like you are taking away their reputation or their glory. And they're going to harm the white people that let Enrique join that group. They're going to harm them. And then Enrique will be harmed unless they go into protective custody, which is wise for them to do. That's wise. I would recommend it. How's a hob?
A year or so, Commander Jihano put on. He was saying Dylan Roof was recruiting all the white supremacists.
Yeah, Dylan Roof is the man because he's sincere. You get my point? He's the real thing. He's sincere. Now, Dylan Roof at the same time has to give them his membership list. You have to be sincere in there to being hateful, and they're going to consider the Proud Boys fake. You'll hear about it. Just wait a few weeks. Here's the point. Because judgment is slow, wicked men think that they can continue to be wicked. Polite. Can you imagine how many children Polite has molested? Oh my God. Polite preyed on women who had children who were unmarried and didn't have a man and were lost and were victims of child molestation themselves. Let me wait a second before I go into Polite. I got 1,000 precepts on him and Atlanta on how whether or not you better ask yourself, are you Atlanta brave? You better ask yourself. Questions. Who made the food tonight?
Kwame Allah and my rib boy.
Kwame Allah, what's your rib's name? Say again? Ayan Lawana. Give her a hand. And what's the other brother's name?
My son, sir, Kwame
Your
Allah.
son, give him a hand. Well done, Warren. Well done. Good work. Go ahead. Questions online? Questions in the from the brothers from the other states?
Rio Grande has a question, sir.
Rio Grande, you're up.
Shalom, Lord in Christ, sir. My question is in Malachi chapter 1. Verses 3 through 5.
Go ahead.
The question I have, sir, because in verse 4, the way I'm trying to apply the scripture is you know how Donald Trump says "Make America Great Again,"
right?
And also, you know how our brothers are being treated, you know, here on the border.
Yeah,
and I want to get the official breakdown on the scripture to see if it's maybe a twofold scripture and a scripture that I could use to say, you know, make America great again. Is Esau trying to rebuild, you know, what they had before in the past, kind of, and also in verse 5 when it says when it's talking about the border of wickedness, you know, if I could use that as well to say how Esau is trying to, you know, keep our brothers out, you know, and call them evil. The Lord is going to turn around and make, and you know, and destroy everything they had using our borders.
Absolutely. Go ahead and read the precept for him. How many more questions do I have?
About 6 more, sir.
All right, come on, Rio. Let's go.
Come on, Wakan, sir. This is Malachi chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 3. And it says, "And I have hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." Verse 4, "Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places."
Actually, while you're there, can you give me a quote by George Washington where he wrote a letter to the British and he said that the British were trying to make them slaves? This is a famous quote, not famous, it's really very little known. Most people have never heard of this quote, but if you look it up, you should be able to find it.
George Washington wrote what, sir?
George Washington said that the British were attempting to make them slaves or to put chains of slavery upon them. Give me that, Levi.
So, like you, sir, in verse 3, the dragons of the wilderness. Who would that be, sir? Would that
Snakes.
be the other niche?
It's like snakes, meaning he's trying to say, you know, read one from the top. Let Rio Grande read. Rio Grande, read it from the top. I'll start to break it down now for you. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 3. "And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness."
This is the Most High saying he hated Esau. Who is Esau? Our oppressor is Esau. That's who Esau is. Our oppressor is in the Bible. You are in the Bible. Blacks and Latinos. La raza. Mi gente. You are in Santa Biblia. You're in that, brother. Our enemy is in the Bible. Our enemy is called Esau in the Bible. Keep going.
Come on, verse 4. "Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished."
That's what Edom said. Edom said, we're poor. We're poor. Anybody have the George Washington thing for me yet? Okay, check this out, Rio Grande. Edom said, we are impoverished. We're poor. Keep reading, Rio Grande.
But we will return and build the desolate places.
But we will return and build the desolate places. Let me explain to you what he's talking about. Esau, their forefather, is Cain. And Cain was sent into the caves to live. He was exiled there because he was the first murderer. And the people drove him out from civilized folk. And he had to go live in the caves, ostracized there as a murderer. Then after Cain, then you had Esau upon the world. And Esau was another murderer and a thief and a robber and hated and had to live outside, red and hairy. And he was ostracized from people because he was so violent. He was such a violent soul that he had to go live in the caves and live outside. And he felt a lot more comfortable there. but he could hunt and kill all day. But Esau believed that one day he would rise up. He would stand up and rule the world, and he would take back the inheritance that he sold to his brother Jacob. And he did it. He did it. He went to control the world, but he never got the birthright. He never got the inheritance. He never got the blessing that Jacob received. He just has the world temporarily, because judgment is slow, because the Most High's judgment is not immediate. So he believes he'll rule the world forever, but he will not. He believes that the immigrants coming across that border are just desperate souls needing his help. You ever hear a white man say, go home? Whenever I hear that, I go, damn, that's a lot of power that you perceive to have. Can you imagine, brother, I'm from the tribe of Judah. I have only known Arabs and Chinese people and Vietnamese people coming into my neighborhood and setting up businesses. That's all I've ever known. I've never, how many years did I go before I ever saw a Black or Hispanic owned business? I mean, I was grown. I never saw that in my life, ever, being from the city. It's an amazing thing. I never thought to say, leave. The thought of it is the goal you must have to say, listen, you got to go. You got to go. You can't leave. As if you have the power to get them out. The people in Staten Island think that they can just say, hey, who are you? You're here? Listen, y'all got to leave. All of y'all got to go. Get up and get out of here. Damn. Who are you? You the mayor. You the congressman. You the president. To even think that you could tell someone where you from. Now y'all got to go. Now that's it. Y'all got to leave. Y'all got to get out of this neighborhood. Go back to your neighborhood. No. What the F are you going to do about it? No, I'm not going back. I'm staying here. Now what? To even think you could force someone out is something that only white people feel. It's like a feeling that they own everything. So they see you, where you moving into? That house, you got to leave. No. Is it your house? It's your house. Like, who the hell? Who asked you where I can live? I didn't ask your permission to move to Staten Island. Who asked you? But they think they decide where everyone goes because they're white. Because they're white. They at one time they were poor Rio Grande, and they pledged to themselves to rule the world. They made that pledge. You understand, Rio Grande?
Colonel Concert.
Let me play you something from George Washington that he said in the 1700s. I think 1774. 1774. He said this. Go ahead.
This is from the Smithsonian Magazine, entitled Slakia. It's entitled. Come on. Sorry, sir. Advertisements.
It's all right. You can pay to get rid of it.
It says concert. It says enslaved by George Washington, this man escaped to freedom and joined the British Army.
That ain't it.
Hold on, no, that's the title of the article.
Okay, so long.
In the article, it says, in 1774, with discontent fomenting in the 13 colonies, Washington had expressed his fear.
So now this is back when America started off with 13 colonies, New York being one of those colonies, right? 13 colonies in the Northeast. And they began to really want to leave Great Britain and to leave the United Kingdom. And resistance, rebellion was fomenting, meaning like it was building like a lather, building up. Keep going.
Washington had expressed his fear that if the colonists didn't assert their rights in the face of measures imposed by the British government.
Now, he wrote this in a letter to to the House of Commons in England. He said, if we don't do what? Read that again.
Assert their rights.
He said, if we do not assert our rights, keep going.
In the face of measures imposed by the British government.
Because the British government was taxing them, taxing rum, taxing tea, forcing rich men to give up more of what they thought was their money to England. If they don't assert themselves to these British measures that the Great Britain and the King is putting on them, go ahead.
It says they'll be made into tame and abject slaves.
They'll be made into what?
Tame and abject slaves.
George Washington wrote this to the House of Commons in England and said, if we don't stand up, we'll be made into tame. Who knows what tame means? Like a dog who's well behaved. We'll be made into tame and abject what?
Abject slaves.
At the time that he said this Rio Grande, he had so many black people in slavery. But he knew if they didn't stand up to the British, they would be slaves. They had a revolution, brother, called the American Revolution, killed everybody. Everybody. Why? Blow my mind with the answer. Online or in headquarters. George Washington is telling you the cause of the American Revolution. How he inspired them when they didn't want to fight. They did not want to fight. He saw them not fighting. And he said, we better assert ourselves. We better assert ourselves against these British measures, or else, microphone, or else we'll be slaves. Or else we will be slaves. That was the reason for the American Revolution. They did not want to be you. Right. They had you in slavery, and they considered you what? Tame. They considered you, yes, master, no, master, and how can I help you? And what can I do for you? You want me to dance? You want me to sing? You want me to stop dancing? You want me to stop singing? They looked at you and said, I know how my slaves got like this. They are tame. They accept things. The Israelite School of UPK and the Commanding General Liliana out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are wild. Do you understand? We are untamed. We're not tamed. We don't accept oppression. That's not what we do. We're not going to be bullied because you have 300 people and we have 2 out on that street corner. That means nothing to us. Right. That's irrelevant to us. We could care less about that. What matters more to us is the honor of the men who are there that day. That's what matters. Now you better ask yourself, are you Atlanta brave? Ask yourself that question. George Washington didn't want his people to be slaves. And that's what he thought about British taxes. So you understand, Rio Grande?
Sir.
White people consider themselves poor out if they don't have everything they want. Do you understand, Rio Grande?
Sir.
It's hard for you and I to even get it because our poor is not their poor. Like they protest, brother, because 4 black girls come to the school. You understand? 4 black girls walk into the school and they go, God damn it, I can't take this shit. These 4 black girls, they're ruining my life. They're destroying society. 4 black girls. The school has 100% white, so like 98.999% white. These 4 black girls was the end of the world to them. So poverty to a white person, knock, is not getting everything you want. You know, not having everything you could possibly want in life. They consider that poor. You understand, warrior? I do want it, but don't tip me with this. I'll bring it over here. I got to have it. I'm gonna strengthen the taste if it's all right. Go ahead. You want something? Go ahead, young man.
Or if I may, sir, as soon as a black person moves into their neighborhood, it lowers the property value.
How many times have I heard that? Jesus Christ, these property values. No one told me that when the Vietnamese came in and they do my wife's nails. They do the hell out of them toes.
Or the Korean with the
I done put so much money in these Koreans with these toes and this hair. First, I was just buying 4 women getting their toes and nails and everything. Then I get daughters. They got to go there too, you know. You didn't know that, did you? Them daughters, they get to a certain age, you got to walk in there and get their nails done. You get their feet done and do every goddamn. And the Vietnamese sitting there doing all of it. I never thought this is bringing down my property values. Oh, these Vietnamese hair salons and these Arab chicken places. This is bringing down. I never even considered anyone gave a damn about what I said about the property value. Who knows it? I never thought anyone would care. The property value. That is a white myth. You understand? It's a myth. The property value is a myth. That's a lie. The property value. They don't want you there, brother, because they think they control everything. And anything they don't like, they think they don't have to take it. They don't have to have patience. White people are not tolerant. The ISUPK, we're tolerant. We're tolerant. Raise your hand if you shop in businesses owned by people who are white, Chinese, Japanese, African, and Vietnamese. We're tolerant. We're better than that. You understand that? We're better. We shop in your restaurants. We buy from you. We don't think about the property value. You're our neighbors. And we treat you like neighbors. We say please and thank you. We come in there and say please and thank you and talk to you. We're polite to people from China who sell us chicken, fried chicken. We're polite. You go in a Chinese store, they got fried chicken, and you know there's watermelon in the little cup in that refrigerator. Did y'all know that?
And iced tea.
And iced tea, and it's delicious. Somehow they get the sweetest of the watermelon. And I eat watermelon and fried chicken. And I get it from Chinese people. I am tolerant. You're the racist. You're intolerant. I buy fried chicken and watermelon from Mrs. Kim. I'm not the racist. I'm not the intolerant one. You are. So yes, Rio Grande, they think they're poor if they don't get, if every day the sun doesn't shine on them, if they don't win every day and get everything. Rio Grande, is that good for you? So make America great again. That's another thing I would love to battle some filthy heathen on CNN about. Because what in the hell does that mean? I'll explain what it means for time's sake. Make America great again is a thing that never existed, but it exists only in the mind of white people. How do I know that? When do you think the time was of Make America Great Again? Let's call it the 50s. How about that? Well, in the 50s, guess what white people were saying in the 50s? These poor little black girls got to get the hell out of this school. They're ruining our neighborhood. They're destroying the community. They're lowering. White people in the 50s were angry as hell about black people and about Latinos in the 50s. In the 40s, in the 30s, they were hanging you from trees. So when is this time when they were satisfied? They have never been satisfied. In the 1700s, they were killing people from England. There is no time when white people said, we got it good, y'all. This is the good time here. Let's never forget what life is like right now. And let's always want life to be like this. When were they happy? Were they happy in the 1700s? They killed everybody. Were they happy in the 60s? They burned the place to the ground. They rioted in the streets. They hung black people. They ran you out of neighborhoods in the 60s. How about the 70s? Were they happy then? They were running you out of the neighborhoods in the 70s, beating you to death with the police. There is no time when white people have been satisfied and happy. So when they say make America great again, that's an imaginary thing in their head that they're fighting to achieve. That place of pure whiteness, pure perfection. No brown people. Oh, you walk down the street, you wave, and everybody's white that you wave at. The hand is activated by whiteness to the white people. You live in a beautiful home. It's white. You know, it's a white home. It's lovely, and the grass and everything is just perfect, and whatever you don't like has to go, has to be changed. That has never happened ever. But they think one day it will. That's their thought of making America great again. Everyone understands. Rio Grande, you good here?
Carl, sir, if I could, just in verse 5 out of 1.
See a little bit. Ice with this and a little more strength, all right? You can throw the strength. Go ahead.
In verse 5, where it says, and your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. So can I use this, sir, to show how it's all this talk about their borders? They got to protect their borders, and they're trying to keep our brothers out on the border. And the justice of the Lord is so poetic that we're going to destroy them from our borders.
That's exactly what it's saying. What it's saying is that as they go to build and control the world, they look and they see that the Lord will be magnified from the borders of Israel, meaning all of their hard work to control the planet, all of their hard work to take everything and control everything, they're going to look up one day and see the Most High will still be magnified. It doesn't work. All of your manipulation of the stock market and the banks and of the immigrants, that doesn't work, because the Most High will be magnified from the borders of Israel. You are never going to have this utopia of whiteness. It will never happen. It cannot happen. You're too greedy to be satisfied with what you have, and you'll never achieve what we have. What we have is God's blessing. What we have is the covenant of the Most High God. You can't have that. What you have, you think you'd be satisfied with that, but you'll never be, because you still want what we have, which is God's glory, which is God's blessing. Everyone understands. Hey, Budget, I need that strong if you could. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Atlanta has a question, sir.
1 second. You got to stand by. Let me get Atlanta real fast. Atlanta, you're up.
Somebody had a question?
Please.
Concert. Shalom, Lord. Sir, if I could, we're trying to get a breakdown, sir, on Matthew 12, starting at verse 43 through 45.
You got it out.
Like it. Come on. And when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest and
Let me speak down a taste. This precept is about leaving the truth. That's what this is about. All right. So know that first. This is Christ telling his disciples what happens to people when they leave the truth. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man. See, many of you know what it's like to come into the truth. You know what it's like to stop smoking cigarettes. You know what it's like to stop smoking weed. You know what it's like to stop being a slut, to stop being a pimp, to stop being a homosexual. People in the truth understand what it's like to be free from a demon. but you don't know what the demon goes through when he leaves you. That's what this precept is about. When the unclean spirit has gone out of a man, go ahead.
He walketh through dry places, seeking rest.
One second. That demon of cigarettes walks through a dry place. Demons need to live inside of you. If you ever, I've been in so many councils, and this is the inevitable question I ask the person. I say, well, why'd you do that? This is when you know you got a demon. If I say, why'd you do that? And you go, I don't know. You don't know why you did a thing? Watch this. I picked up this cup. Why? Because I wanted to drink from it. Ooh-wee. Right? I wanted to do that. I picked up this spoon. Why? Because I wanted to stir my coffee. Why did you break his windows? Why did you get high? Why did you do that? I don't know why I did that. If you don't know why you did something, you're not the one that wanted to do it. Someone else wanted to do it. Something else wanted to do it. Because if I ask you why you did it, you will say, I don't know why I did that. I don't know. You have a demon. Now, you come into the truth, that demon leaves you. Well, that demon, when he leaves you, he's walking through a dry place. It's hot. He's like, oh, man, I was having a good time inside of him, inside of her, smoking and drinking and having sex and doing every good thing. Now I'm here and I can't drink. I'm thirsty. It's terrible being outside of him, being outside of her. Continue.
Seeking rest and findeth none.
What is rest? What is rest? The demon is seeking rest. The demon is what? Seeking a new living so they can rest. They can't find anybody else. Oh my God. That person is already full of demons. That person already smokes. They already smoke weed. They already are an alcoholic. Oh God. What am I going to do now? Oh man, they already are gay. Oh Jesus. They can't find a person so that they can rest in that person. Keep going.
Verse 44. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out.
Looking for a new home, you know what he thinks to himself? I will return into my previous house. I'll come back to you. You know what they call that in the drug world, right? Relapsing. What percentage, Alexa, what percentage of drug addicts relapse? Is she on?
Alexa, what percentage of drug addicts relapse? She don't want to answer.
She hates that. Someone Google that. What percentage of drug addicts relapse? Let me guess, about 98%. About 90% of drug addicts. Come on.
Studies reflected about 40 to 60% relapse within 30 days of leaving a treatment center and up to 85% relapse within the first year.
You got about 30 days and about 50% of you go back to getting high. 85 or 80% within the first year. You relapse. The Bible is explaining relapsing. This is it. The relapse comes from this. The demon that left you, he walked around and tried to find a new person, but all of them already had demons. You understand? Then he thinks, I know who doesn't have a demon anymore. You. Because I left you. So you're clean. So he thinks to himself, I will go back to you. Continue.
I will return into my house from which I came out. And when he is come,
and then now he comes to you. He comes back to you. Sometimes he comes back to you, usually through some pain you're going through now. Some of you, you're in the truth and you go through something in the truth. You know, now you're getting scared. Some of you want to leave the truth over what happened to Atlanta, don't you? Raise your hand if you're a bitch. I know you're not in here. Give yourselves a hand there. You think, you know, I don't, oh boy. Some of you, your mother probably calling you, your wife. Oh no, you can't be in that Israelite group. Oh no, y'all, that Israelite group fights back. Oh no, I don't want you to be in there.
That's not Christ-like.
I want you. That's not like Jesus would do. Lord knows nothing bad ever happened to Jesus. Anyway, something happens, or if you're a brother, maybe you'll get checked because you're an alcoholic, or you get checked because you know you want to have sex with prostitutes. And brothers in the UPK won't let you commit crime in this land or crime according to God. And now you want to leave the truth. If you're a woman, what is it going to be about? Raise your hand and tell me the answer. You know it. 1, 2, 3. Say it at the same time. You're going to want to leave the truth over what? 1, 2, 3. Say again. Say it again. Nice and loud. Over a man. Say it again. Over a man getting another wife. Say it like that. Over. Give him a hand. That's what it's going to be about. That's all. That's all. It'll be, Lord knows you ain't never been with a man that had another woman. Ever. You don't know what that even is like. To ever have a man that was with anybody besides you. So then you'll leave the truth over that. So that's where it starts with something that you don't like. Christ talked about this in the parable of the sower. Sometimes you're offended by the truth. Sometimes it's because of persecution. That would be like in the Atlanta case. The persecution makes you want to leave the truth. Sometimes it's over money. You want to be rich. That's why Bishop Nasty Nate left the truth, because he wanted money. And Commanding General Yohana would not allow greedy men to thrive in this school. There's all kinds of reasons why a person might be susceptible to let that demon come back. Do you understand? So the demon comes to you, and when he sees you, go ahead.
He findeth it empty.
I'm sorry.
Swept.
The water.
When he comes back to you, you are clean. Oh, you're absolutely clean. No demons, no other demons for him to fight with over you. You're swept and clean like a brand new house. Keep going.
Findeth it empty, swept, and garnished.
And decorated now. Like you're perfect. If you ever wanted to know why there is such a push for the rainbow community to talk to children, it's because demons need a person who is clean. They can't come into a person that already has demons. See, by the time you're older, you might already be LGBT. You might already be a drug addict. But you know who is swept, clean, and perfect? A child.
Concept.
He's perfect. He doesn't have any demons. So I can live there. Do you understand? I can live in this child because no other demons live there. And that's why the LGBT community wants to molest you when you're young, wants to come into your school, wants to take childlike images of rainbows and unicorns and clowns and turn them into sexual imagery because they need someone who does not have a demon already. They need that. Well, your demon, when they find you After they leave you, they see you are like a child, like Christ said. You're like a child again. You're clean, brand new, fresh. You're not jaded. You're not traumatized. You're not controlled by memories of the past. You're a brand new person. You have started over. And the demon looks at you and sees how clean you are, how garnished, how decorated you are. Continue.
Go on. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits, more
Then
wicked than himself.
back, when he comes back, he brings with him 7 demons worse than him. Because there's room now in you. There's plenty of space. So he doesn't just come back himself. He brings demons with him that you never even had before. If you leave the Israelite school of UPK because you're an alcoholic or you're a drug addict or you don't want your man to have another woman, your next man is going to be Brother Polite. Do you understand? Your next man is going to molest your kids. Can you imagine going from, I don't want my man to have another woman, going to, I don't want my man to have my son? That's where you're going. You're going right there. I've told so many dummies that throughout my time. And now tonight I'm telling you, everyone understands. All right? You're going to deal with things you never thought you would deal with. You refuse to deal with him getting another woman. You are going to deal with him having sex with your daughter. You're going to deal with that. You're going to find a way in your mind to justify it. She fast anyway. She tempted him. That's really her fault. That's what a woman has to do to keep the demon. She can't leave him because if she left him, he wouldn't get to molest the child. So, you know what? It's really her fault. It's because she walked around wearing those tights. Or she come downstairs wearing those shorts. That's really why he did it. And he said he was sorry. And he does pay the rent. And we do need him. And he does have other things that are good about him. You're going to deal with that because you couldn't deal with him having another woman. You're going to deal with that. You brothers, you're going to leave the truth over, because you're a bitch or because you're scared or because somebody gave you an order that you ain't want to follow. Or because, a brother told you you couldn't exercise your lust. You couldn't have sex with whores, prostitutes, white women, African women. That's why Nate left the truth over an African woman. I know. I've been around. That's why he left the school over an African woman that he fell in love with. Loved her so much. Loved him right into the arms of Ghana. Come on.
That's why he saved General Butt Naked.
That's why he saved General Butt Naked. Yeah. General Butt Naked is a cannibal, literally a cannibal, that Nate accepted into the IUIC. A cannibal. This is not hyperbole. He's an actual cannibal that eats human flesh. Go Google it. You'll see what I'm talking about. Well, if you leave the truth over some failing that you have and we don't accept, you're going to suck a penis out. You're going to have a penis in your mouth. You're going to leave the truth over drink, and you are going to shoot heroin into your veins. You're going to smoke crack and snort coke and be a gay man and be with a transsexual like Nate. Nate is a closeted gay man. We wouldn't accept that in here. Now he goes to Africa where no one can know. Somebody still knows. And we're still going to find out in the end. Trooper, if that's your rank. Young man, Salakia, go ahead.
If I may, they're currently showing on CNN a documentary of Little Richard, and like the one clip I saw was that when he converted to Christianity, Christianity and I'm not gay anymore,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
You know, versus what the LGBT
Community says about it.
and promoting or what have you. It's like one thing I noticed, it just seems like for the non-LGBT, we have to come to what they believe, but not vice versa. And like the foundation of that argument is that they're oppressed. But they also try to conflate that with slavery, with the oppression of our people.
Yeah.
But it's a false comparison because their oppression was supposedly based on their behavior, because there are gay white men and LGBTQ white men and women, versus ours, we're oppressed because of the color of our skin, because of our being human beings, and they don't see it. Is that so? Like my point is I was gonna say that how they conflate that and
How do they consider themselves oppressed? Like you and I are oppressed. The tribe of Judah, the tribe of Ephraim, the Hispanics, and the so-called black people. This is why. Because if a white man stubs his toe, he thinks he's been shot. So gay people will go. LGBT people will go, well, you won't let us have sex in a bar at night in the village, which is what happens in New York. They go into a bar and want to have sex in the bar. The cops come in the bar and say, listen, you can't have sex in this bar. They go, what are we, slaves? Look, this is oppression. They think that's oppression now because they can't have sex in public. Let me just help you out with it. The whole LGBT thing, it's a myth. It's like something for you to get wrapped up in that is not real. White people are unified in every way. Right. The whole white women thing, they're not against white men. And please believe you, there are so many LGBT people who are conservative, who are absolutely racist. Right. Don't even, not all, they're all the same. To them, that's all freedom. You get my point? No one is oppressed like you. No one is even going through oppression. It's like being poor. Their poverty is different than your poverty. Their oppression is different than your oppression.
Yeah, if I may, so like I was gonna say that like the founding of this country was started through our oppression with slavery, etc.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's the point, like my mother, when I leave my house, she always tells me, be careful, be careful.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets frustrating, I'm
Of
not gonna
course.
lie, but I think the reason she does that is because she's scared I'm not gonna make it back home.
Of course she is, because so many sons have not made it back home. But your mother's fears are warranted because she knows the history of this place. but your mother just has to understand that you're under the Most High protection, bro. She doesn't have to worry about you. And the people who died, who didn't come back home, were sinners who didn't have the protection that you have. Let your mother know that. Give him a hand. Absolutely. Come on, Asher.
Atlanta, are you done, Atlanta?
Atlanta, was that it?
We're done. Khan, the water, sir.
No problem. Let me hurry up so I can get to my topic, all right? You got Cross the Line coming up. Where's Cross the Line at? Go ahead. I need to get to my topic. In about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Come on.
Salakia, so I had a question about a scripture of First Maccabees 8:1. Really, my question is mainly about you were talking about the Proud Boys and everything going on with them.
Right.
My question is the opposite of the Judite of the Ephraimite cap. Basically, a few years ago, you had a thing called Brexit, which was basically Judah going around saying black Republicans exiting Democrats. And I brought up this scripture to say, why is it that historically Israel thinks it's a good idea to say these group of heathens or these group of oppressors don't like us? So let's join these other group of oppressors. And this is the First Maccabees 8:1, where basically Judah said the same thing about the Greeks, comparing them to the Romans.
I wish I had time to give you the black person that was supporting Donald Trump and got arrested in jail.
Donald Johnson.
And when he went to jail, you know what he said? And he was the only one of them that went to jail. The rest of them bailed out. You know what he said? This is some racism over me being black. That's why. This is systematic racism. Let me help you out. I know many times on your internets, you're seeing the black people support Donald Trump and black Republicans and rappers and rap videos about Donald Trump. Why is that coming up? Who wants to guess? They're being paid to do it. That's all. When you're poor, you could find anybody to support anything you want if the people you are paying to do it are poor. That's all. They just give out money. There's a lot of money in budgets to get black rappers to make a pro Donald. I love Donald Trump, and he's the man. They'll make a whole rap about Donald Trump. And as you watch it, you'll go, damn, black people are supporting Donald Trump. What's going on with this? We must love Donald Trump. He's a criminal. I'm fine, warrior. He has a mug shot. It's the same thing that the Democrats were doing. Just paying someone black to make a TikTok video. That's it. It's not more heavy than that. It's just, if you have money, then you can just pay someone to make a pro Donald Trump rap. There's one. Find me one if you need one. I had one saved in my phone. I don't have a lot of time though. Come on, Abaji.
So you can say the same was true for Judas at the time?
Yes. Listen, poverty, brother, creates so many disciples. Poverty. Poverty is why there's football and basketball. Poverty. That's it. Poverty means you won't care about the physical harm this does to you. Poverty. Poverty creates servants. You understand? If you have money, you're going to see someone put a shirt that says, niggas who love Trump. You're going to look at him like, wow, damn, I didn't know niggas love Trump. This must be a movement of niggas that love. He is paid to wear the shirt. They're giving him money to put the shirt on. It's so much more simple than he's down. Trump has changed the minds of people. Guess what? The Democrats did the same thing. You've been like, wow. Democrats really, black people really love Democrats. They're paid to love them. Al Sharpton is paid to love Democrats. You understand? Martin Luther King paid to love them. All of them are just given money, and they don't turn down money because they're poor. The only fools in this earth that turn down money is the Israelite school of UPK. We turn down money. We say no to money.
So just to clarify, Huey and Farrakhan fall in the same vein. Huey with the
wouldn't
commies.
wouldn't they?
Count, I'm just confirming.
Wouldn't Farrakhan? I mean, Khalid Muhammad gave the whole story about where all that money came from Farrakhan, them, and that's where their belief comes from. Their belief comes from who pays them.
Right.
That's, I mean, when you grow up, everybody will see that. It's like when you're grown and you get, wow, I didn't know there was a movement. Black people are changing. And they're not. Someone just paid them, and that's it. Everybody gets the point. Asher.
Concert. Next question. I have, sir, is from Officer Kapayar. It's like a Kapayar. He would like
Kapayar?
Kapayar. Concern. He would like to know the difference between reincarnation, resurrection, and regeneration.
Okay, a lot of these things are the same thing. Regeneration and reincarnation are the same thing. That's the same thing. What's the other ones?
And reincarnation, resurrection, and regeneration.
Okay, resurrection in many cases is also the same thing. Resurrection sometimes in a few cases can be speaking about what happened with Lazarus and what happened with Jesus Christ. But in most cases, resurrection is talking about reincarnation as well. Most of them are talking about reincarnation. Come on. Ice cream I probably can't because of the time, but I'll take the cake, the water. Everybody, most times everything about same thing, except for a few cases in the Bible where it means a dead person comes back in the same body, changed body. Other than that, it's all reincarnation. Everybody gets the point. Next.
Concern. Next question we have here, sir. A brother named Mark would like to know.
What are the negative questions?
Negative questions?
No one says anything negative to me ever. I never get a negative question ever.
I don't think
I know that can't be true.
They're not Atlanta Brave right now.
They're not Atlanta Brave. Give them back. No problem. I think that's good. I'm gonna hand this to you. For what? I appreciate it.
Brother Mark would like to know if.
Yeah, please, if you don't mind. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Brother Mark would like to know, is the Xerxes that's mentioned in Ezra the same Xerxes who married Esther?
I can't recall that. Is that who married Esther? I don't remember who married Esther. I don't remember if that's Xerxes. Is that right? Someone else. Azab, you know?
Mike?
Is it same person?
Yeah, Esther calls him Ahasuerus.
Okay, that's Xerxes. Yes, that's the same Xerxes. Is that correct, Hazahab? Solid. Next.
But I don't know if it's the first or the second. I know
it's rough when those kings had the same name. Just like in England, you got King Richard III, Elizabeth II. Who the hell knows? Henry V. Come on, Hazahab.
But that Xerxes is the one in Esther, is the one in the movie 300.
Okay, you hear what Hazahab said. The Xerxes in Esther is the one in the movie 300. Done. Next.
Interesting. Sir, next question I have, sir, is from a brother named Josiah. He says, in Revelations 9 and 16, are the 200 million there going to take us up into the sky, or is that a spiritual warfare of the horsemen?
Okay, the 200 million is the number of the army coming back to deliver us from captivity. So that's the number of the military force, 200 million. So that's his question. That's his answer. It's not a metaphor. That's what he's saying. It's the actual number of the angelic army that's coming back to deliver us.
Sir.
You get the point. Go ahead.
Also, time checker is 8:47. Okay.
Okay. How many more questions do we have? We got to get into the topic now.
I have about 8 more questions. Some of them are pretty long, sir.
Jesus Christ. Let me just hear. Get
One,
the videos together. Let me just play my videos I sent you.
Sir, I have one video, the TikTok video. The other ones were articles.
Okay. I need to get into all of them.
Yes, sir. You said you want to go into that now or after?
Let me just hear the.
Sir.
Any more questions from Atlanta?
No, sir.
Go ahead. Next. Any more questions from brothers who came into class tonight?
South Carolina, any questions?
Who's going across the line tonight?
Windsor.
You doing it?
I would be so fortunate.
No sign prize. I might help you out a tape. You doing this, Jamal Waller? Okay, college hours coming. No sweat. Go ahead.
Sir. Windsor, any questions? Rio Grande, any more questions?
So, I'm gonna
Nah,
and who else we got to move on? Who else has questions? Give me the questions online.
So I have one question that says, is John 14:9 be a good precept for Hebrews 1 and 3?
Let's hear it.
Can someone get John 14:9, and then someone else get Hebrews 1 and 3? Sure.
John 14, verse 9. Yahushua saith unto him, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip?
This is when Philip didn't believe that Christ rose from the dead. What's the other precept? The other one?
Hebrews 1 and 3.
Hebrews 1 and 3. Read it. I gotta go now. Come on.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 3. Who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had
No, this is not. The precept is that Philip did not believe that this person that stood before him. You can pull the one where Timothy said the same thing, but Timothy didn't believe it was him. This is a question of faith, of believing in something that is too strange to believe. Right? Philip, is this after Christ rose from the dead? When they were on on the beach or something like that with fishing. This is when Christ rose from the dead. He came back and they did not believe it was him because he was dead. And they looked at him and he didn't look like him. And they said, this can't be him. Brother up front, go ahead.
Sir, it was before that. I think he may be asking about the rest of the verse that says, he that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father?
Oh, okay. This is back before he was killed. And rose from the dead, correct? No. The water. This is read the question. Read what Philip said fast.
Philip saith unto him, Lord, show us the Father, and it sufficeth us.
That's what you need. Meaning Philip is saying, listen, Christ is telling them to have faith to believe. That's what Commanding General Yohanan has required of you. The same thing that Christ requires of him. To believe in something when it's small like a mustard seed. To believe that it will grow large enough. Like a tree that the birds lodge in. But you have to have faith for that. You got to believe in something that most people cannot believe in. People believe in the Proud Boys. They believed in black. Lives Matter. What happened to them? Black Lives Matter. That was a giant marching thing. Well, they marched. Black Lives Matter. My God. Hillary Clinton backed them. And the Proud Boys were backed by the president, Donald Trump. You know, they were so big. It didn't require faith to believe in them. You could believe on them with your eyes. You looked at them. You see that one smoking a cigar when they were battling Commanding General Yohana, smoking a big old fat cigar like he's the man. He's in jail now. You understand? He's gone. So many people in the world, you don't need faith to believe in Microsoft or faith to believe in McDonald's and Coca-Cola and to believe in Mark Zuckerberg. And Amazon. Their power makes you believe in them. But to believe in Christ, you got to have some faith. So then Philip is saying, listen, I know you want me to believe in you. Just show us God and then I'll believe in you. It's like, all right, I get what you're saying. Perform a miracle right in front of me. Show me the Most High God, right? Now, and then clearly I'll know that you represent God. That's what Philip is asking. He doesn't want to believe based on the character of Christ, the reputation of Christ, the work of Christ. He needs a miracle. He needs God to appear in a fiery storm right here in front of him, and then he'll believe what Christ said. Everybody gets it. Keep going.
Jesus saith unto him, have I been so long time with you?
Come on, man. How long have we been together? I remember so many times I asked this question to brothers. This is another thing that vexes me so much. How long do we have to be together before we can know each other? I mean, we're together a lot, together all the time. And yet something happens and it's like, you don't trust us? That broke your faith in us. I mean, years of constant togetherness, separated from the world, having nothing but each other. So this strange thing happened, and that broke our brotherhood. That broke our sisterhood. That's all it took. How long have we been together? That's what Christ is asking Philip. So I got to show you God in a fiery pillar for you to know who I am? Is that what you need? I'm not doing it. You understand? I'm not providing that to you. Read it again.
Have I been so long time with you? And Yet hast thou not known me, Philip?
Have I been so long with you for this much time, and yet you have not known me? Let me tell you something. I hopefully you'll never hear from Commanding General Yohana or the men above you in the council. If you're thinking an evil thing about the brothers above you in this school, the officers, the captains, the generals, just know this: we are what our reputation says we are. Whatever that is, that's all we are. You just ask around about us. Just remember us. If you personally don't know us, ask everyone about our reputation. That is who we are. And whatever that is, we'll take. I'll take whatever people say about me. I'll take it. No problem. Commander General Yohana will take whatever people say about him. Whatever my reputation is who I am. That will have to be good enough for you. Continue.
He that hath seen me hath seen the Father.
Yeah, I'm not showing you God in a dream and a vision with fire and sitting on a fiery throne. That you ain't getting. If you seen me, you seen the Father. You see how I treated you? You see how Commanding General Yohana paid your rent, paid all your bills, and helped your wife. You see that? That is as close to the Most High as you're going to get in here. How we treat each other. If you've seen us, then you've seen the Most High God, because that's why we did it. We didn't do it because we're nice guys. I am not a nice person. Please understand that there's nothing nice about me. When I'm around nice brothers, I think, what am I doing in the school with him? And I'm being absolutely honest, because I'm not a nice person, yet I'm in the school with nice, good brothers. And I'm not like you at all. So if there's any good in me, please believe it's because of God that I'm doing it. It is not because that's how I am, because I'm not like that. That's what Christ is trying to express to Philip. How I treated you is when I was showing you God. That's when you saw him. Hold your point, trooper. Keep young man. Keep going.
And how sayest thou then, show us the Father?
How are you even asking me that question? Why do you think I did that? What do you think I did that for? Because I'm a do-gooder. I love doing good deeds. I'm not. I don't love doing good deeds. There has not been one man that left the truth that I ever missed, ever. I don't miss people to leave the truth. I don't even care about it at all. There's not been one sister, and they call me all the time. Some sister called me recently. She said, you know, Muhammad, I'm ready to come back. I said, oh, okay, listen, let me get right back to you. I'm on another call. I was not on another call. Do you understand? I just don't care. That's who I am. So now, any good thing that has happened to you, it's because of the Most High God. That's it. Otherwise, I could care less about you at all. You think I'm joking? I'm not. This is a moment of honesty I'm having with you. If you see God in us, if you see good work, it's because of the commandments of God. It's because we don't have a choice. It's because we are trying to show you that the Most High exists. And there's only one real way to do that. And that's for him to exist in us. Everyone? All right. Come on. No, this has nothing to do with the color of scripture at all. Go ahead.
Meaning I use it to show what's called a Christ is black, and it's saying, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. What is the Father?
Yeah. I don't know who's doing that, but they shouldn't be. This has nothing to do with color. Because of course Philip is the same color as Christ. You get the point. This is about character, not color. There are other color scriptures. There's about 8 of them we give into you in your officer's test. This is not about color. This is about character.
That's right.
Right? If Martin Luther King says, judge not a man by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character. If our oppressor was judged by the content of his character, everyone would know that he is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's right. Everyone. I think. Anything, I got to get to my topic. Clap it up. Let's go. Play the videos that I have. All right. Then I'll give you the precepts. Save Are You Atlanta Brave for the end. Give me the immigrant precepts first. The immigrant things I gave you first.
Concert. This is from this. This is TikTok, and this is Mayor Eric Adams of New York City. Ready, sir?
Go ahead.
Full support. And let me tell you something, New Yorkers.
Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian speaking coming through Mexico. Now
This happened this week. Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, said that this problem, he sees no end to this problem. And the problem of immigrants is going to destroy New York City. Damn. Do you know how many immigrants came into New York City during the time of immigration? 6 million. 6 million. And there was room for everybody. Room for everyone. He is saying that the immigrant problem today is going to destroy New York. That's a heavy thing to say. From this black mayor that you elected in New York. He's saying there's going to be no more New York because of the immigrants coming in here, because it's so many of them. Keep going.
Yes, sir.
now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their mind up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City.
That's what Rio is talking about. The immigrants that come to New York, no, they come through the southern part of the border. Around the Rio Grande with Captain Officer Yasha. Car is in charge of the Rio Grande. Give him a hand. And I believe the brother right here with him, he might be with him on a different camp. I don't recall. Salakia. If they come through that part, they sent to New York City. And last year they had 10,000. I think this year they have 100,000. And according to Mayor Eric Adams, this is going to destroy the entire city. Now, everyone hears that and they think it's believable. It is not believable. Can I show you it's not believable? Let me explain to you the real problem in New York City. The real problem in New York City is this. If you're rich and white, they won't let the immigrants stay in your neighborhood. They only will let them stay in the poor neighborhoods. So they cram them into the ghettos, into places where there aren't rich people. And because of that, there is no space. Can I show you something? Give me the clip about Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard, right? At the beginning of this, 50 immigrants immigrants, 50, came to Martha's Vineyard, New York. The National Guard came out there. All of the press came out there. It was the biggest story in the world. They were in Martha's Vineyard. Do you have the clip I sent you?
No, you sent me the article.
Please play it. I mean, read it, please.
This is from CNN Politics. The migrants sent to Martha's Vineyard have been voluntarily taken to a military base for support, officials say.
Voluntarily taken to a military base for help and support. Keep reading.
There's a video here of the governor from...
I don't need that part. Skip the meeting. What happened to them when they came to Martha's Vineyard? Right there, the migrants.
The migrants, after 2 days...
How long?
After 2 days...
Listen, I know many of you don't remember this story. This was a gigantic story. That 50 migrants were sent to Martha's Vineyard by Florida's Governor DeSantis. It was 50 of them. They were there for 2 days at Martha's Vineyard, and then they got moved to a military base after 2 days. Do you know how long brothers and sisters have been waiting in Manhattan, sleeping on cardboard? Months sleeping there. Here's the problem, the immigrant problem in New York. The federal government destroys their country because they want the immigrants to come here. They want to destroy their home, just like in Haiti. They want to destroy Haiti to drive the people out of valuable land in Haiti. They want to destroy South and Central America to drive the people out of valuable land and land that we would call paradise in South and Central America. And they want to drive them to America. And when they get to America, they're going to make sure that they are not an inconvenience to white people. So they will never go to Martha's Vineyard. They will never go to upstate New York, where there's land everywhere and then no people live there. Do you know, give him a hand. Do you know you have abandoned cities in America? Detroit is abandoned. Look up abandoned skyscrapers in New York. Someone find it for me. Take a second to do it. Detroit is abandoned. There are goats roaming Detroit to eat the grass because no one is cutting the grass. And they have abandoned skyscrapers in Detroit. There is a surplus of land here. There's cities evacuated. Like mainly Detroit, Michigan. But you can't go to Detroit because the Arabs don't want you there. And you can't go to Martha's Vineyard because the rich white people don't want you there. Martha's Vineyard, by the way, was a place that was for black people back in the day. It was for upper class black people went to Martha's Vineyard because they weren't accepted anywhere else. Now you're not accepted in Martha's Vineyard. What am I looking for here? You holding something for me?
No, sorry. I never liked that black Labrador that they use on. All their clothing anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Give him a hand.
It says the migrants, after 2 days of uncertainty on the small island and a large local effort to provide for them, cheered Friday morning when they were told they'll be taken to Joint Base Cape Cod.
My God. 2 days. These brothers and sisters have been sleeping outside for months. On cardboard in a line. The problem with New York is that you're not allowed to inconvenience white people, and that's why you can't be here. And let me tell you another thing that's the problem with the immigrants in New York. You brothers and sisters who are from the tribe of Asher, who are from Venezuela, who are from Guatemala, who are from the Dominican Republic, you hate the brothers and sisters who come over here as immigrants. You hate them. You don't want your own people to come to America because you think you have to be the only immigrant here. Who knows what I'm talking about? Who knows exactly what I'm talking about? Come on.
Yeah, my pops definitely does not like the fact that his statement was, how we're going to take care of all these illegal immigrants when we can barely afford to take care of the people here on the corner. And I told him, you know, some of those people are from Ecuador, like you, right?
And what did he say?
He's still quiet.
Brother, your father is an Israelite because I'm from the tribe of Judah. And I know that my family hated to see more niggers coming into that neighborhood. They hated that. They hated the sight of them. Do you understand? If they saw niggas, they went, too many niggas around here now. It's just too many niggas. Your father is the chosen people of God. Levi was telling me in the car, come on, Levi. Microphone.
If I may, sir, you know, they were going around because of the current Biden humanitarian program, which is allowing 30,000 immigrants from 5 specific countries: Haiti, Venezuela, Guatemala, Cuba. I believe the last one is Honduras. I may be wrong.
All of them, the chosen people of God.
And there's media people that were going around to barbershops, so-called Haitian barbershops, Haitian restaurant, and asking questions about the people coming from Haiti, specifically to the United States for 2 years. And 90% of the Levi, unfortunately, sir, they said we don't need them here because for 2 years, what's going to happen? Like, how can we help them? It was a very small, minute of people that were saying, well, you know, the Haiti is destroyed, so where else can they go? But most 90% plus of the people were saying, we don't need no Haitians over here.
Well, those Levi those Haitians are the chosen people of God. We hate ourselves. Now, let me ask you a question. In the 30s, do you think Italians hated to see more Italians come to America? They loved every time that boat was filled with Italians. You know what that means? Let me tell you what it actually means. The more Haitians that come here, that means a more powerful demographic for the Haitians. Right. More Haitian restaurants. Right. My God, why is there pizza on every effing corner here? There's pizza everywhere because no Italian said, you got to stop all these Italians from coming. Right. They wanted the Italians to come because the more Italians that came, that made them stronger against the Irish.
Right.
You wanted to outnumber the Irish. You wanted Italian pizza every damn place. Brother, the more Ecuadorians we get here, we're going to have more Ecuadorian restaurants. Ecuadorian apartment buildings.
Peruvian steakhouses.
Peruvians. Ooh, Jesus.
Steakhouses.
Peru, that old Fogo de Chao, which I live in.
I love that one right here in Midtown.
Is it though?
Yeah.
We shall find out. Give it a hand. I didn't know about that. I'd be taking the school down there after the class. Yeah, we need all of that we can get. We don't need to cut off our reinforcements.
Right.
Those brothers and sisters coming over here are our reinforcements. That's what the Italians considered more Italians. The Irish considered more